Alright, Lobries and Gentlegrams, in today's episode of Lobry in Gentleland, we will discuss how the Ovi-Ho freaky frontliner, the gargantuan glizzy gobbling goon of the Gavelingram, the Adonis cosplayer, the crash-out dummy and puppet of Lobry's Sesame Street suing saga, Mr. Top 5, but he should have been named Bottom Feeding 5, has found himself in custody by Canadian authorities after just less than 5 months of freedom and freeloading off of Drake. I call him the Adonis cosplayer, but I should really call him the Rihanna cosplayer, because he's not walking around like Drake's son. For the last 5 months, Top 5 has been wandering around the streets of Toronto like he's Drake's dream girl. Drake is icing him out.
No one has this.
Person in the world gave me this.
No one has this, right?
You wanna know who gave me this?
Yeah.
My dog. Somebody I'll kill for. Somebody that I'll put my life on the line for.
What's his name?
No, but you already put your life. But you already
Drake?
put your life on it.
I don't know if it's Drake, but yo, this person right here.
No, it's Dogg.
This person right here, I'll kill for them.
Drake is bringing him to basketball games.
Happy birthday. Let's make this a cake-sized moment.
He even allegedly paid Top 5's lawyer fees when Top 5 was on trial for taking an innocent man's life. Now, the only difference between Top 5 and Rihanna is that Top 5 was ready to ride or die for Drake.
Let me ask you a question.
Why you act like you're not with him?
So me and you are not in a relationship.
We're not in a relationship.
No, you held him down for...
Did you not?
Yeah, I did,
How long did you
because
hold
like
him
we're
down for?
cool.
Last
Like
year? How long?
yeah, for like
Okay, so last year he came
No, like
home,
a couple
now
months,
you
yeah,
guys are
6
together.
months.
Yeah, that's
Couple
cool.
months.
That's
Hold it down for a year.
A year, 1 year.
I introduced you to my mom.
what?
What do you mean, what? You didn't know his whole?
I didn't put you on the phone, my mom.
No, you didn't.
This girl's deja vu. She's gonna lie on us, yo, man.
What about
Well, he was ready once Drake paid his lawyer fees. He didn't always have the best things to say about OVO before Drake was his sugar daddy and dropped money on his case.
Are you ready to get behind OVO?
How do they run Toronto?
We need lawyer fees.
And when I come home, bro, let me tell you something. OVO beat me up. They put me in the XXX trial. They beat me up. They beat me up. They beat me up still. They got my cell rated. I'm going hard for them.
What they
And
said
they're not
to him?
paying me.
But hold on.
They're not paying me.
They're not paying you? But yo, hold on, let me ask you a
They're
question.
not giving us cash.
What, they never dropped the lawyer fees?
Big up Akademiks and big up Bunda.
That's
Those
what,
are that BFR Bunda.
That's
Those
what-
are the lawyer boys.
those are the lawyer boys?
I guess it's really a love and hate relationship. But if you guys have been keeping up, ever since Top 5 was released from prison less than 5 months ago, he's essentially inherited the Kendrick beef from Drake and done nothing but make vile threats and attention seek online.
Let me tell you something. Kendrick Lamar can't come to Toronto. I'm here.
Yo! No. Yo, we gotta politic this real quick. Yo.
So it wasn't very surprising that with this type of behavior, Top 5 would find himself back in prison shortly after his release. But what is surprising is the fact that Drake proudly carried around this clown like Paris Hilton used to carry around chihuahuas. Even with multiple people on the outside warning Drake that having a guy like this in his crew could lead to his downfall.
I see you got Top 5 up there.
Yeah, we got Top 5 coming up.
Drake need to get away from Top 5.
Why do you think he's bad news?
Bad news. Drake, hear me. No troll. You need to get away from that dude. That dude with his mouth and the things he say, it does not support your career and how far you come. I'm telling you as a brother, get the fuck away from Top 5, bro.
But unless you've been paying really close attention, you probably didn't even know this Top 5 guy existed. And even if you have been watching closely, you probably have no idea how Drake ended up becoming so closely affiliated to him. Top 5's kind of like that crazy side chick that doesn't leave you alone. Drake has barely ever mentioned this guy, just like he's barely ever acknowledged or mentioned DJ Akademiks, but both Akademiks and Top 5 keep Drake's name in their mouth like it's a set of braces. And like Kendrick said on Not Like Us, Drake likes them young. We know this because the first time Drake ever did actually acknowledge Top 5, it was via an Instagram post in 2014 when Top 5 was around 15 or 16 years old, and the picture depicted Drake looking at a computer screen which had a video on it of a 15 or 16-year-old Top 5 shirtless. The caption was "Back in the 6 were to Top 5. And if you think Drake and Top 5's relationship today is weird, you might be a little bit disturbed by an interview Top 5 did way back in 2015, again when he was only 16 years old, where he details how him and Drake met and what their relationship is like. Drake has a lot of friends in Top 5's neighborhood, Lawrence Heights, so Top 5 claims that him and Drake met during one of Drake's visits to the neighborhood. Top 5 said, "He's always been supportive of my hood, he has friends there, he puts people up on Instagram Instagram from my block, and that's how he's been into my music. For a long time, Top 5 was going by the nickname Shirt Off Shawty, a strange name that you might recognize from the 2016 Drake song Grammys, where Drake raps,
like I'm shirt off, like I'm shirt off, like I'm shirt off shorty.
He also shouts out Top 5 by name later in that song saying,
Top 5, no debating. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
But it was apparently during the 2013 OVO Bounce basketball tournament where Top 5 got this nickname. Top 5 said it started when Brandon Jennings took his shirt off at the tournament. I was going to take a picture with him and then I decided to take my shirt off and the whole crowd started going crazy. We posted that pic and since that day, it's been hashtag Shirt Off Shawty. I took a picture with Drake with my shirt off, and that was only my second time meeting Drake. Keep in mind again, 2013, Top 5 would be around 13 to 14 years old, taking shirtless pictures with Drake. As for how Drake discovered Top 5's music, Top 5 says he knew me from my neighborhood. He was asking, who is that kid with his shirt off? Ah, man, the jokes write themselves. Anyways, Top 5 continues saying, then I went to a signing and we got to know each other and the friendship started. From then on, we kept hitting each other up. He also claims he took rapping as a joke at first, but started taking it seriously once he saw that Drake showed interest in his music. As for how him and Drake started to get to know each other, he says, the first time I saw Drake, I didn't know who he was. Like, I knew who he was, but I didn't know if he was that nice guy or that mean guy. But when I took my shirt off and he jumped in the picture, from that day on, he's been watching me. He knows these streets. I'm gonna drop a couple more songs and then you'll know it's official. That night when Drake put up my pictures, I've never seen it like that. I love Drake, he's a cool guy for putting that out. I salute him and I thank him for that. Like, I have a fan base, but he gave me a bigger fan base. So it seems like Drake and Top 5's relationship really fostered from their bond over Top 5 being shirtless. But as the years progressed, Top 5 went from Shirt Off Shawty to Shameless Shooter. More specifically, he proclaimed himself to be Drake's shooter.
Yeah, I'm Drake's shooter.
Oh,
I'm not lying to you. Anybody disrespect Drake, I'm shooting you.
damn.
And while we hadn't really seen Top 5 drag Drake down in his antics until the beef with Kendrick transpired, that's not to say Top 5 wasn't without his own set of antics. And I think, to be honest, it'd be downplaying the situation to simply call them antics. In January of 2021, Top 5 was charged with accessory to murder after a 23-year-old student by the name of Hashim Omar Hashi had lost his life, someone who police say had no connections to the criminal world. Top 5 was released on bail despite warning signs that he had previously been accused of ignoring orders from the justice system, and those warnings probably should have been taken seriously because when the charge was upgraded to first-degree murder by May of 2021, Top 5 was already on the run, allegedly hiding out in LA. But not really doing such a great job because he appeared on both Instagram Lives.
Artist has been connecting with fans on social media. There's just one problem. He's also on the run, wanted for murder.
That appears to be Top 5 speaking out on a live streaming Instagram video over the weekend. His viewers tell him he's a fugitive. One asking, isn't Top 5 on the run for a body? The rapper seems to talk back.
The only run I know is the treadmill.
Oh my god, run away, Top 5, run.
Run, baby, run. Run.
They can't catch you.
Like, I ain't do shit. Everybody know I ain't do shit, but it's 144, but I'm so smart. Clutch.
And DJ Akademiks' Twitch streams, all while the Toronto police were looking for him.
I thought it was just a song, but I heard they just caught you for 2 cases. And he said, bro, I'm gonna beat that. Easy.
They try to frame me for some shit.
Are they trying to frame? Oh, no. Oh, man. He on the run. From what? Ain't no running going on. What y'all talking about? Yeah, right. I do need to get a little running. I'm gonna get a little run going on. Ain't nothing wrong with a little running.
And to no surprise, considering Top 5 was doing more online press while on the run than a rapper does to promote a new album, he was eventually found and arrested in LA, where he spent around 3 years in prison, during which he would still comment on Drake consistently, whether it was positively, standing up for him when Kendrick unleashed Not Like Us on the world, or negatively when he felt like his sugar daddy Drizzy wasn't spoiling him enough.
Are you ready to get behind OVO? I need
fed
lawyer
up.
fees.
And when I come home, bro, let me tell you something. OVO beat me up. They put me in the XXX trial. They beat me up. They got my cell rated. I'm going hard for them. And they're not paying me.
They're not paying you? But yo, let me ask you a question.
They're not giving us cash.
What, they never dropped the lawyer fees?
And about 3 years after Top 5 was taken into custody, on September 23rd, 2024, Top 5 was freed after the Crown had stayed his charge. Now, for those of you who don't understand how the Canadian legal system works, you're not alone, alright? As a Canadian, I had no idea what the Crown stay in a charge meant, but it's a good thing we got Google. Charges are quote-unquote stayed when a judge or a Crown decides that it would be bad for the justice system for the case to continue. This means the issue of guilt or innocence is never determined. Stays can be granted when the state has acted unfairly, including a failure to bring the case to trial in a timely manner. In Top 5's case, the Crown suspended their case against him after the judge would not allow Top 5's videos or social media posts to be used as evidence in the trial. According to the Crown's theory, Top 5 was a part of a gang that rivaled another gang operating in the area where the victim's life was taken. Now, you'll see later on in this video, if you haven't noticed already, that Top 5 does an extreme amount of instigating, attention seeking, and possibly trolling if you don't want to consider there being any truth to what he says online. And in this case, his antics on social media actually helped him out because they were gathering a bunch of his social media activity as evidence to be used against him. But in the end, the case was dismissed because the court deemed it would be unfair or unethical to tie social media posts and music videos to real life crimes. So Top 5's whole shirt off shoddy shooter persona actually saved him from possibly spending the rest of his life in jail. On the day he got out, his lawyer said, "I think the evidence against Top 5 was entirely circumstantial. The case against him was not strong at all. It was very weak in my opinion, and I think this is the correct decision to release Top 5 right now. We were confident all along this day would come. We very much hope that this is the end of all matters for Top 5. And the problem about prosecuting artists like Top 5 based on their music is it fails to understand what the medium is, what it's all about, how quote-unquote drillers approach their audiences. It's important for all quote-unquote drillers to portray themselves as the biggest, baddest gangsters on the planet. That's what sells. That's what drillers are doing." His lawyer says that the Crown alleged that Top 5 was the mastermind of the killing based on his lyrics, adding that that was the problem with their case all along. And when Top 5 came out that day, to be honest, I knew nothing about him besides Drake saying Top 5, Top 5, Top 5 in his song Grammys. I thought Drake looked at this guy the same way he used to look at a YK Osiris, like some kid that he just kind of memed and had a fake friendship with as this sort of like comedy bit on Instagram. But the whole world's perception of Top 5 and Drake's affiliation with him changed on the day he was released from prison. Top 5 came out claiming he was a changed man, thanking his lawyers for the hard work they did.
You freed me! You freed me! Yeah, I'm home!
How does it feel to be stepping out after being in custody for that long?
I feel like Shohei Ohtani, superstar.
And saying that his focus now would be on spreading positivity.
What about the fact that a man did lose his life? Do you have any thoughts about that?
R.I.P., you know what I mean? R.I.P., I'm an innocent man. Hope they find whoever did that.
They could revive the charges within a year, right?
They could.
They were alleging he was the mastermind from the backseat, again, based only on his lyrics, based only on his rap, based only on his persona as Top 5. That was the problem with their case all along.
Are you going to start rapping again?
Positive.
What's your plan now?
I'm going to bring every community together. Stop the violence.
With
Positivity.
Later that day, he posted a picture of him and his lawyer on his Instagram with the caption reading, "Shout out to Drake for the lawyer fees and Gary Grill for being the best lawyer in Toronto," seemingly implying that Drake paid a lawyer to argue in court that it's not fair to use rap lyrics, rap music videos, and artistry as evidence to tie people to crimes. Very ironic that 4 months later, Drake has hired lawyers again to file his own case where he now uses lyrics from Kendrick's music and visuals from his music videos as evidence to tie entities to crimes. Let that sink in. Also, Drake wasn't paying the lawyer fees because Top 5 robbed a gas station or something. He was accused of taking an innocent man's life. And the victim got on Instagram the day Top 5 was released saying, "Zero clue this was a thing. This stuff hit like a blow to the stomach. Just so we're clear, my baby cousin's life was taken in the parking lot of his home. This is a trial about a kid losing his life. A child, on the way home from a pizza place. Not in no street politics, not a part of nothing. A kid. My baby brother had to find his best friend that night lifeless. I used to appeal to this man. We all looked up to him. This is the wildest move. What the F are you doing, Drake?" Top 5 was charged with murder. They put a GPS tracker on him. He took it off and fled to the States. I don't even know how you get past the border with that kind of charge. LAPD found him, and somehow, some way, he still got off a charge he fled out of the country to evade. Thank you, Drake. Your version of justice means Hashim's sister had to watch her brother's murderer celebrated on TV. He insisted if that tells you anything about the caliber of people we're dealing with here during her honeymoon. When I came back from Portland, they told me OVO 40 was one of the good guys. He was really trying to find a solution for what's going on in the city. This is the solution. That blood is on your hands. And while Top 5 maintained his innocence, saying rest in peace to the victim and that he hopes they find whoever actually did it, and aside from the fact that the second he came out of jail, the first thing that he said was he's looking to make a positive change in his life and his neighborhood, the very same day that he gets released from prison on this charge that he claims Drake paid the lawyer fees for, he gets on a live stream with Adin Ross and Akademiks and shows that he's farther than ever from changing his ways, that he feels zero remorse, and those same social media antics that the court refused to use against him during his case, he was now taking that blueprint and amplifying it to another level and possibly incriminating Drake in the process. First, he said that Kendrick Lamar and Metro Boomin were no longer safe to visit Toronto.
Let me tell you something. Kendrick Lamar can't come to Toronto. I'm here.
Yo! No. Yo, we gotta politic this real quick. Yo!
Which is ironic because Metro had come for a concert just a couple months prior, and Kendrick is slated to perform in Toronto's biggest stadium for 2 nights in a row this upcoming summer. But anyways, Top 5 continued by stating that him and Drake would be doing a podcast in the near future where they would watch Kendrick's Not Like Us music video and do their homework very carefully on every individual that featured in the video.
Me and Drake are gonna link up in a couple days, and we're gonna do this podcast. And we're gonna play Not Like Us video. We're gonna look at every nigga in the video. And we're gonna do homework. We're gonna look for them. I don't play around, but Aubrey, that's my bro. My Jewish brother, Shalom.
Well, you're Jewish?
No, I'm Somali, but my Jewish brother, Shalom.
I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
I guess Drake really did study that music video because he used a bunch of different visuals from it in his latest lawsuit against UMG. And to prove to the world that all this crazy talk was actually endorsed by Drake himself, Top 5 attempts to call Drake during this Akademiks live stream where he's threatening Metro Boomin and Kendrick. In a smart move, Drake does not answer, but instead he DMs Top 5, and Top 5 shares those DMs on the live stream. Drake had told him, I'm in a meeting right now at some spot with no service. I'm hearing you're tearing the internet up. We bun skin. Welcome home, brother. Real stuff. Bun skin is allegedly slang for hitting people with a firearm, but we can't confirm what Drake was trying to imply with that message. What we could confirm is that Top 5 kept talking crazy. In just a few weeks as a free man, he's seemingly on a crash out mission to waste the money that Drake paid his lawyers by incriminating himself every chance he possibly could. He must have really thought he was untouchable after the court decided to pause his case due to the fact that they deemed it unfair to use his social media antics against him, and so Top 5 really just took those antics up to a whole other level. He continues streaming with Akademiks where he discusses the Weeknd's manager's house possibly getting shot up.
Out of respect for Drake, I don't want to go on this level.
I can't even go to America. I swear a man's bodyguard's house got shot up in LA. I can't even go to America.
I don't give a fuck, kid.
Until I get my passport. I got my passport.
Like this, you enjoy this shit? You want me to go on this level with this nigga?
No.
You want me to?
No, let's bring it down.
As if this was a kindergarten class, he emphasizes that he doesn't like Kendrick because Drake told him not to be friends with him, and that Kendrick's banned from Toronto.
Beef that deep, or is it just music? Like, is it real life?
He's a goof. That's some goofies. Those are some big goofies. He can't come to Toronto.
So it's real life, it's not just music.
Hey, damn right. Why do you think everything's a joke?
Okay.
I just don't like him because he kept saying Crody in this.
I don't like him because Drake's my friend. My Jewish friend doesn't want me to be friends with him. So you know what I'm saying?
So whatever he says goes.
You're damn right.
He basically implies that he's Drake's shooter, but doesn't want to name Drake by name and tie him up in some sort of RICO case.
I can't say, yo, bro, I'm gonna kill for this person. I can't say their names. We're gonna go down for a RICO. This guy can't last in jail. Like, no.
So is it Drake? Yes or no?
I can't say his name. Just no. Stop playing with Drake, man.
He confirms that he was indeed on the run in LA, emphasizes that he feels no threat to return to LA, but that if Kendrick Lamar came to Toronto, he might suffer some consequences.
I was on the run for first-degree murder in LA.
Are you not scared?
Scared of what?
Kendrick?
We got money.
Kendrick and his people?
Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, you're scared of Kendrick?
Tell him come to Toronto. Swiss cheese.
What happened if he comes to Toronto?
I'll get the low, put on my Nike Tech Black. Tell YG get us a driver. Put the window down, it is what it is. Get some fresh air.
He also leaked more private conversations that he had with Drake This one being a little more deep-rooted. According to a user in the Drake Reddit, apparently there was this racist guy who got frauded by Pressa and Top 5. According to this Reddit user, this kid was allegedly running around in Dubai with Top 5 and Pressa, got swindled into paying Drake $500K and $1.5 million to Top 5 in crypto for an Instagram follow, for Drake to appear in the kid's music video, to link him with Jenna Ortega. Turns out they fled back to Toronto and left the kid dry. Top 5 also played voice notes of Drake trying to calm him down. And the DMs that Top 5 leaked between him and Drake showed Drake saying, "I was hoping you were going to make some bread off that for sure. Like, I caught the play, I was with it, but he asked me what I had in my wallet, so I told him I played the 800 on stake and lost, and he just went effing nuts. Oh, I sent 1.5 mil, people are finessing me, you are supposed to post 2 videos of me rapping today and make me F Jenna Ortega. I said this kid is gonzo. Can't even feel bad for him. He's a certified nut job. The man told me Top 5 is flying home to smoke Adonis. That's what he told me. I said this guy has to be doing nitrous." If anyone was watching the live stream where Top 5 leaked these messages, please drop in the comments here if I'm missing any sort of details about the situation, or did Top 5 basically rat on Drake and himself for both of them attempting to fraud this individual. The craziness would continue with Top 5 going as far to say that he needs Kendrick unalived.
There's 2 I need that. You and Kendrick.
No.
I need you.
And you would think with all the insanity that Top 5 has been surrounded with, every crazy thing that he has said, every way that his goofy antics have possibly incriminated Drake, considering the fact that aside from a couple mentions on Instagram posts or songs, Drake has barely ever acknowledged this guy publicly, logically, why would now be the time to associate yourself with him more than ever before? It seems hard to understand, but it's not like Drake has been making calculated moves in general ever since this beef transpired, so I guess it wasn't that surprising that he gave this goofy a massive cosign. He even dressed up as Top 5 for Halloween, and just less than a month after Top 5 was released from jail, prosecutors were already back on him. An article released on October 8th, 2024 reading that Toronto rapper Top 5 brags about time in jail, thanks guards he says gave him cell phones. More than 2 weeks have passed since Top 5 walked out of a Toronto courtroom a free man after prosecutors decided not to move forward with a first-degree murder trial against the local rapper. 2 days after the charges were stayed, Top 5 joined an online live stream where he boasted about his time in jail. He said, "I had a knife in jail, I had a cheeseburger in jail, I had a phone in jail." He went on to thank the correctional officers, saying, "Shout out to the CEOs who took care of me and gave me the phones." So yeah, basically with just less than 2 weeks out of prison, he's already snitched on Drake, himself, and the correctional officers who allegedly hooked him up in prison. In 2023, Top 5 is actually accused of using one of those cell phones to record a music video while he was in custody at the Maplehurst Correctional Complex in Milton, Ontario, claiming he paid someone $10,000 to get the phone. And what's very interesting in this article is that they interviewed this former homicide detective, Mark Mendelson, who confirms that the investigations against Top 5 and his connection to that murder of that innocent student, like I told you guys before, they were still ongoing. The trial was essentially just paused. The article reads, since his release, Top 5 has appeared on multiple platforms threatening to incite violence. However, the line is often blurred between what rappers say being taken as fact versus artistic expression. Again, that's why Top 5's case was paused in the first case, because they deemed it unfair to use his social media antics against him in court. But this homicide detective emphasizes, we saw what happened in court with this particular gentleman where certain evidence was not allowed in. That doesn't mean the end of investigation at all. That means they're going to continue on, and if this man happens to inject himself back into the investigation, then so be it. Meaning if this guy keeps acting like an idiot, he's going back to jail. And sure enough, can you guess how the rest of this story goes? Well, probably to your surprise, for a couple months, Top 5 was actually pretty quiet. Maybe Drake slapped his little chihuahua across the head, told him to stop getting both of them in trouble. Maybe Top 5 finally started valuing his freedom. But aside from seeing Top 5 spotted out at a Raptors game with Drake, we hadn't really heard much from him. No new music, no new wild live streams, nothing. Until December of 2024, when LA native Wack 100 was on the No Jumper podcast, flashing a USB drive, looking into the camera to warn Drake to get away from Top 5.
I see you got Top 5 up there.
Yeah, we got Top 5 coming up.
Drake need to get away from Top 5.
Why do you think he's bad news?
Bad news.
Why?
This is how much respect I got for you, Drake.
A hard drive? USB drive?
This is how much respect I have for you. I'm telling you, somebody listening, Drake, hear me, no troll on Pyro. You need to get away from that dude.
As for what was on the hard drive, Wack emphasizes that it's been in his possession for 90 days. He implies that Drake probably knows what's on that hard drive and that Top 5 running his mouth is going to have a serious negative impact on Drake's career.
This has been in existence about 90 days, and I have made sure it hasn't went anywhere, personally. I think you know what I'm talking about. That dude with his mouth and the things he say does not support your career and how far you come. I'm telling you as a brother, this is how much I got respect for you.
He continues warning Drake to get away from Top 5 before his antics or footage like what was on the USB drive implicate Drake into something serious.
Get the fuck away from Top 5, bro. World, remember, I'm warning Drake. He's gonna have you hemmed up, called up, and cuffed up. Dude is reckless with his mouth. He ties you to things, and he's a dumbass. This is how much respect I got for you. You can't be tied to somebody, bro, that continuously wants to say they're tied to you. Bro, you seen him the other day? He said, yo, I want to kill 2 people. Kendrick Lamar being one of them. You can't do that.
Of course, the notorious instigator DJ Akademiks had to get a piece of the clown show, so he got both Top 5 and Wack 100 on the phone to clear the air on what was on that hard drive and how it might incriminate Top 5 and or Drake. From Top 5's position, he explains the story as in his first week from being released from prison, he calls Wack 100. Wack 100 is with fellow LA native and close Kendrick Lamar associate Hidda J3. On a side note, he had a great verse on Kendrick's GNX album. He's very active on Twitter. Not the biggest fan of Akademiks or seemingly Top 5, but we'll touch on that shortly. Anyways, Top 5 claims he was on the phone with both of them, talking quote-unquote gangster to them, making threats about what will happen when he comes to LA, and Wack 100 was recording the whole conversation to use it against Top 5.
All right, what do you have to say, Top 5?
So look, my first week at Touch Road, I called this guy. He was with some guy named J3 Hidda. I was showing them how gangster I am. Saying, yo, when I see you guys, I'm on you. This guy recorded the whole convo, and our talk is so gangster, he's blackmailing me. I didn't say nothing about Drizzy on that convo. Man's blackmailing me, saying, I'm going to post it, you're going back to jail.
They get in damn near a 30-minute shouting match with Akademiks hosting the entire thing. Top 5 keeps calling Wack a cop.
My mama, you a cop. Oh, my mom's you a cop. The whole Compton knows this, Wack. Hold on. Wait. I ain't the one you flashed, though.
He claims that Drake warned him not to associate with Wack because Wack is a quote-unquote rat.
Hold on. Me and Drake had a talk last week. I promised him I was going to leave my house alone. I'm back. I'm looking for you, Wack.
Yo, you ain't bro.
You know what's so crazy? Every time I talk about the LA, Drake tells me, damn, leave Wack 100 alone. He is the police.
Wait. Hold on.
And essentially, they continue going back and forth with Wack delivering the most poignant, important message of the whole thing in that, rat or not, gangster or not, Top 5 was just given a second chance at life. And if he wants to maintain his freedom, he's got to make some serious changes in how he acts online. It's sad that this advice had to come publicly from someone who doesn't even like Top 5, rather than us publicly hearing this from Drake himself. All these antics stem from Top 5 proudly trying to act like Drake's internet gangster. All the Kendrick disses, the Weeknd disses, beefing with all these LA natives like Wack 100 or Hidda J3. I mean, it's obvious his lawyer pretty much implied this when he first got set free, in that Top 5 understands the value of social media and that in order to push his brand to a higher level, he's got to maintain this crazy crash out image online. Whether or not it's all a facade, well, the judge obviously thought it was enough of a facade to dismiss it as evidence in court, but for some reason Drake didn't think this was dangerous enough behavior to publicly dismiss, even though he was seemingly at the root of it all. Another person who was at the root of a lot of this, DJ Akademiks, who instigated a lot of it, hosted a platform for Top 5 to spaz out on. Instead of trying to diffuse any of these situations, he instead, allegedly, according to him, offered Top 5 $2 million to sign to him as a streamer or a rapper. I don't really know what.
In the building, man, the Academy Records, I told you I was launching, man. Listen, I dropped a $25 million bag. I had to do it, man. The first signees to the Academy Records, the biggest demons out of Toronto. Yo, y'all artists, y'all don't have a hit song, y'all not dripping like this, it's gonna take a while. Let me tell you this, 5 mil. I signed and put 5 mil in his pocket, 5 mil straight. Hey, this guy been rich. I just gave him 5 mil just cause. I had to give Boondog 5 mil just for him to stop sliding. That was the only stipulation. No more sliding. It's over. It's over. The Academy Records, man. Listen, when these guys drop, Big Ak is behind them, man. Listen, there's no bigger voice than me.
But before Top 5 could become the newest signee under the Akademiks label, his months of bad behavior, being Drake's lapdog, inevitably, unfortunately, caught up to him, as on January 25th, 2025, less than 5 months after becoming a free man, Top 5 had again been charged with multiple offenses in connection with a firearms investigation. He was arrested the day before on a Friday after police executed a search near Enterprise Boulevard and Birchmount Road in Markham, and Top 5 is facing 5 charges including unauthorized possession of a firearm, careless storage of a firearm, and possession of a prohibited or restricted firearm with ammunition. And you really gotta think, how easily could this have been avoided? In the 4 months that Top 5 was a free man, he publicly threatened 2 of the biggest musicians in music multiple times online, beefed with multiple internet personalities online, even allegedly incriminating himself on a FaceTime call with Wack 100, proudly stating in interviews that he was the shooter for an anonymous individual, yapping for hours on Akademiks live stream, and emphasizing to Ak that nothing he says is a joke or a lie.
Yo, what's that? I have another video that I never released.
Really?
That one's crazy. Even the CEOs are jumping with us in the video.
Yo, you lying. Really?
Bro, everything's a joke. Ak, I don't lie, bro.
And even though Top 5 spent months incriminating himself, possibly Drake, possibly correctional officers that were in the prison that Top 5 was locked up in, along with making threats to countless individuals, Akademiks still had the audacity to try and blame Top 5's recent incarceration and firearm charges on Hida J3 because Hida J3 called Akademiks out for the strange behavior that he recently displayed on a Discord livestream with a 15-year-old kid. Akademiks tried to paint the picture that the phone call that Wack 100, Hida J3, and Top 5 had, the same one that Wack says he has footage of on a hard drive that could possibly incriminate both Drake and Top 5. Because Akademiks felt criticized by Hida J3, he makes a very serious assumption that Hida was responsible for getting Top 5 locked up due to the phone call between Hida, Wack 100, and Top 5.
Respectfully, Top 5's team is telling me that he got on FaceTime with y'all and that he got locked up about a video and he think y'all told on him.
Look, check this out. My people was right here when I was on the phone with Top 5. Did I ever do anything with that footage? No. We don't do police out there. We ain't got to record no calls, bro. On the homies, me and him, if it was real smoke, he was going to keep it in the street.
Now, all in all, I haven't really been covering Top 5 ever since he was released from prison because with all these antics that are seemingly instigated by both Akademiks and Top 5 and are all also seemingly a byproduct of the Drake and Kendrick beef, I had a bad feeling that all these antics, all these comments, all this hatred back and forth would end up with one or more of the parties involved ending in a very dark spiral. It reminded me a lot of the Tekashi 6ix9ine situation in that as much as you might think you're just playing some sort of social media character or gimmick, you're bringing an energy into your life that can only lead in one of 2 directions, either deceased or incarcerated. You might think that just like Akademiks, because you're saying all these things behind a computer screen, that you're protected from any real life confrontation. But specifically in Top 5's case, even if your enemies don't catch up to you, you gotta always remember, the feds have phones.